Chapter 4. The Affair That Defined a Generation. Laurence Olivier and Love's First Bloom, 1936 to 1939. The names Vivien Leigh and Laurence Olivier resonate with the golden age of Hollywood and British theater, conjuring images of breathtaking beauty, incandescent talent, and unparalleled artistry. But behind the dazzling performances and the carefully crafted public image lay a romance as intense and volatile as the characters they so often portrayed. Their affair, marriage, and eventual heartbreaking separation captivated the world for over 2 decades, a tempestuous tango between two brilliant, yet deeply flawed individuals. This is the story of a love affair that burned bright, leaving behind a legacy of passion, envy, and ultimately, profound sorrow. Vivien Leigh possessed an undeniable magnetism. Her porcelain skin, mesmerizing green eyes, and delicate features masked a fiery spirit and an unwavering ambition. Even before her iconic portrayal of Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind catapulted her to international stardom, Leigh was a rising star in the London theater scene. She was already married to barrister Herbert Leigh Holman and had a young daughter, Suzanne, when she first encountered Laurence Olivier. Olivier, a towering figure in the British theatrical landscape, was a charismatic and ambitious actor known for his commanding presence and innovative performances. He was married to actress Jill Esmond and had a son, Tarquin. Olivier was on the cusp of superstardom, recognized as the heir apparent to the great Shakespearean actors. His first encounter with Vivien Leigh was during a performance of The Mask of Virtue in 1936. He was immediately struck by her beauty and undeniable talent. The attraction was mutual and immediate. Both were captivated by the other's talent, ambition, and undeniable physical allure. Their paths continued to cross in the burgeoning theater world, and their professional admiration soon blossomed into an undeniable, consuming passion. They were drawn together by a shared ambition for artistic excellence and a deep understanding of the pressures and exhilarations of the stage. They saw in each other not just a lover, but a kindred spirit, someone who understood the profound demands of their chosen profession. Their affair, conducted in the shadow of their respective marriages, quickly became a subject of gossip and speculation. The press, always eager to capitalize on scandalous affairs, followed their every move. Their illicit romance was a stark contrast to the polished image they presented to the public. The moral climate of the era frowned upon adultery, and both actors risked their reputations and careers by pursuing their undeniable attraction. Despite the potential consequences, their passion proved too strong to resist. In 1937, they starred together in the film Fire Over England, further fueling the flames of their romance. The screen sizzled with their undeniable chemistry, and the off-screen drama added another layer of intrigue for the public. The film became a minor success, but its true significance lay in solidifying the bond between Leigh and Olivier. Their commitment to each other deepened, and they resolved to leave their respective spouses and build a life together. This proved to be a protracted and emotionally draining process. Divorces were far less common than they are today, and the societal stigma associated with breaking up a marriage was significant. Herbert Leigh Holman and Jill Esmond were understandably devastated by the betrayal, and the legal proceedings were messy and drawn out. Finally, in 1940, after years of scandal and turmoil, Vivien Leigh and Laurence Olivier were free to marry. They tied the knot in a small, private ceremony in Santa Barbara, California, with Katharine Hepburn as one of the few witnesses. The world celebrated the union of two of the most celebrated actors of their time. They were now officially Lord and Lady Olivier, a power couple who seemed destined for a lifetime of love and artistic triumph. Their marriage was initially a whirlwind of success. They starred together in several stage productions, including a highly acclaimed run of Romeo and Juliet on Broadway. They also appeared in films such as That Hamilton Woman, a patriotic historical drama that resonated with audiences during World War II. They embodied the glamour and sophistication of the era, and their performances were lauded by critics and audiences alike. They were, for a time, the epitome of the golden couple. However, beneath the glittering surface, cracks began to appear. Vivien Leigh suffered from increasingly severe bouts of mental illness. She was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, which was a condition poorly understood at the time. Her mood swings became unpredictable and often violent, placing immense strain on her marriage and career. The demanding schedules, the pressure of fame, and the inherent intensity of their personalities contributed to the growing instability in their relationship. Olivier, a demanding and often controlling personality himself, struggled to cope with Leigh's illness. He was deeply committed to her and tried to provide support, but the constant emotional upheaval took its toll. He found it increasingly difficult to reconcile the vibrant, talented woman he had fallen in love with and the tormented, unpredictable person she had become. As Leigh's mental health deteriorated, her behavior became increasingly erratic. She was plagued by paranoia, anxiety, and debilitating depressions. These episodes often manifested in outbursts of anger and jealousy, directed primarily towards Olivier. The strain on their marriage became unbearable, and their once passionate connection began to fray. Olivier, consumed by his own ambitions and increasingly frustrated by Leigh's illness, began to distance himself. He sought solace in his work, throwing himself into challenging roles and directing ambitious stage productions. Rumors of infidelity circulated, further eroding the trust and affection that had once bound them together. In 1960, after years of struggling to maintain their marriage, Olivier finally asked Leigh for a divorce. The news was devastating for Leigh, who still loved him deeply despite the tumultuous nature of their relationship. She initially refused, but eventually relented, granting Olivier a divorce in 1960. The breakup was acrimonious and painful. The public, who had once celebrated their fairy tale romance, now witnessed its tragic end. The separation was a public humiliation for Leigh, who felt abandoned and betrayed by the man she had loved so fiercely. While Olivier went on to remarry and enjoy continued success in his career, Leigh struggled to rebuild her life. She continued to work in theater and film, but her mental health remained a constant challenge. She found solace in her friendships and in her passion for acting, but the pain of her lost love never fully faded. Vivien Leigh died in 1967 at the age of 53. Her death was attributed to complications from tuberculosis, but many believe that the emotional turmoil of her life contributed to her premature demise. Laurence Olivier died in 1989 at the age of 82. He never fully spoke publicly about the complexities of his relationship with Leigh, but it is widely believed that he carried the memory of their passionate and turbulent romance with him until his death. The story of Vivien Leigh and Laurence Olivier is a cautionary tale of love, ambition, and the devastating impact of mental illness. Their romance was a passionate and transformative experience that shaped both of their lives and left an indelible mark on the world of theater and film. While their marriage ultimately ended in heartbreak, the intensity of their connection and the brilliance of their artistic contributions continue to fascinate and inspire audiences today. Their tempestuous tango remains a testament to the power of love, the fragility of the human spirit, and the enduring allure of two extraordinary talents who dared to love each other against all odds.